وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ, and they who guard their private parts. How do we guard our private parts? Who would like to tell me? It's obvious. How? Covering. Very good. Covering our hijab. Right. And that's our physical guarding, right? Is there a different way of guarding other than the hijab? Lowering gaze. Very good. Yes, lowering gaze. Not to be looking at some inappropriate pictures online, you know, not to be watching inappropriate videos online. You know what I'm talking about. So, and that's especially for the young ones. So yeah, stay away from, and I'm going to say, stay away from any pictures that actually would show any awra, which is like the private parts, you know, whether, you know, whatever it is. And not only that, you need to not only guard your private parts by looking, but also from hearing. When some sisters, sometimes they would talk about their private time that they spend with their husbands, for example. I've seen it a lot. I've seen people that they actually type it up and they post it on Facebook. I'm sorry, but that's nasty. I don't need to know all that. TMI, too much information. Guarding our ears from this, right? Guarding our eyes, guarding our thoughts, right? Our mouth, not to be talking about it, right? That's something that's between you. This is the sacred time between a husband and wife. It's not supposed to be shared with anybody. That's why it's called mithaqan ghalidha in the Quran. That means it is a thick contract. This is something between you and your husband. This is the secret and special time between you and your husband. That's not something to be transparent about it and speak about it in public. And I've seen a lot of sisters, they do talk about it. And I understand some of them that they need advice, you know. Go to a counselor, go to a professional help. The other sisters are not going to really help you because each sister has her own style and her own thing. So that's not going to help at all, you know. Yeah, go to a professional help. That's true. Right. And I understand those are like supposed to be sisters only groups. And I've seen it where they talk about their body shape, for example, or they talk about the way that they need to dress, let's say their underwear or something like this. And I've seen that a lot. Right. First of all, you know, if you want to talk about it with another sister, it's better not to be on public groups. Even if you call them private groups, they're not really private because anyone can take a screenshot and put it anywhere else. If they see that it is funny or anything like that, they take screenshots and they say, and they put it as a meme things or something like that, right? So it's not very private as we think. Right. That's one. And second, you know, when we come and talk about these things and we start taking advices from other sisters, some sisters, they do fatwa shopping. You know what fatwa shopping online? You know, when we have, let's say I have this issue and I want to know if it's halal or haram. So I'll go online, you know, Q&A. Islam Q&A, I go to this website, that website, I go on my group and then I ask this question and you see like all these fatwas from all these sisters, whether they have the knowledge or not. They just want to put their own opinion out there, right? And they start saying, talking about their own experience, right? Well, yeah, I know it is haram, but I do this and that. There's no but in Islam. Either halal or haram, you know what I mean? Like that. So that actually boils my blood when I see sisters do that. Go to a professional person. When you need a medicine, you go to a doctor. If you want a spiritual medicine and a spiritual advice, just like a medical advice, you go to a sheikh or someone who is knowledgeable. Okay. And you need a mentor for that. And the sheikh has to be asking you 100 questions before he gives you the fatwa. Because, for example, let's say that this sister having some kind of abuse from her husband, and that sister has also the same abuse from her husband. But this sheikh will rule to her, say, don't divorce. I advise you not to divorce him. And the other sister, he would tell her, no, go ahead and divorce him. Okay, well, why? Both of them have the same issue. Well, because the circumstances of that sister is different than this sister. This sister is alone, let's say. She has no backup. If she divorced, she's going to end up in the street, let's say. There's the other brother, and then also he sees that the brother can be, someone can talk to him, and maybe the brother can change his attitude. The other sister, maybe she's a working sister. Maybe she has a backup from her family. Her family are close by. And maybe this brother is really abusive that he really deserved to go to jail, for example. Well, both of them have the same abuse, but both of them have different fatwa. So we're not supposed to be just, throwing out fatwas or shopping fatwas from other people. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I changed the subject. But this is very important on what we share with people. That's what I'm talking about. Don't just go and share information like that as it is okay, to go and ask sisters for advices or brothers or anything like that. It's better always to go and seek professional help for that, inshallah. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and those are the one who guard their private parts except for their wives or those their right hands possesses, for indeed they will not be blamed. So if you do it, let's say that if you don't wear your hijab at home in front of your husband or your brother, then there is no problem with that, right? Right, but not share it online.